I think one of the most requested features of the PlayStation 5 was backwards compatibility, and now we know the PS5 is going to be playing PlayStation 4 games. However, Sony has noted that backwards compatibility will actually play a key role in transitioning PlayStation 4 players to next generation, and it will just be a key element of the PlayStation 5 altogether. Does this mean the backwards compatibility will extend beyond the PlayStation 4? Sony said some interesting stuff about that, and also with the PlayStation 5 rumored to be released in holiday 2020, now the question remains, what is the status of the PlayStation 4? We know the PlayStation 4 is going to be around for a while, given that we have games like Dreams, The Last of Us Part 2, Ghost of Tsushima, Death Stranding, although some of those games could transition to PS5 games or cross-gen titles. But Sony has clarified that the PlayStation 4 will stay relevant for at least the next 3 years, which I think is pretty standard. But I also do expect the PlayStation 4 to be phased down a little bit after the release of the PlayStation 5, as we saw that with the PlayStation 3 after the PlayStation 4. We'll talk all that. Also, you guys can play the excellent multiplayer first-person shooter in Overwatch free starting today, and that'll run until May 28th. This is an anniversary event for the game's 3rd anniversary, so excited for that, and Overwatch is a great shooter. Jump in with a couple of friends and play that. And also, another free-to-play title in Dauntless drops today. We had initially thought that Crossplay was something that Phoenix Labs was going to look at, but now we know that Dauntless is actually the first title to allow true crossplay and cross-progression between PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC. That is incredibly exciting, and we'll talk that at the end of this video. First up, Sony put out an investors relations report, and it outlined why backwards compatibility is so important with regards to its next-gen strategy and how they're going to implement next-gen and make it accessible to everyone. They noted, quote, "We will leverage backwards compatibility to transition our community to next-gen faster and more seamlessly than ever before." The key element here is that they really want to transition PlayStation 4 users seamlessly to the PlayStation 5, and obviously offering the games that they already own to be playable on the PS5, that is absolutely paramount. But the question remains, are they going to offer you the native ability to play PlayStation 3, PlayStation 2, and PlayStation 1 games? I think it's absolutely important they get that right as well, because we know that Microsoft, with their next Xbox, that's what they're going to offer. They're going to let you play Xbox One titles on it, they're going to let you play Xbox 360 games, and they're going to let you play original Xbox titles. We know where Phil Spencer and Microsoft's gaming division's vision is. I just don't know if Sony necessarily follows that same pattern. Now, in the case of the PlayStation 4, that is absolutely going to be the case. You're going to be able to play PlayStation 4 titles on the PlayStation 5, and I offer you this. The emergence of digital gaming and consumer spending on a digital front is so important now, because that is where a lot of the revenue comes from. And I'm sure that Sony and Microsoft and all of these other major companies have monitored something like Steam and see how they generate this residual revenue month after month, year after year, and it's amplified even more with these major sales. Well, if the PlayStation 5 was limited to just play PlayStation 5 titles, that would be a little bit of an issue, because all you would be doing is selling PlayStation 5 games on there. But if you open the floodgates and at the very least allow PlayStation 4 games to be sold on there, you can start running these massive sales right from the get-go. You can start selling games to PlayStation 5 users that might have come from the Xbox One landscape and they want to play some of the PS4 exclusives. You're generating more revenue that way. Obviously, this would be amplified even more if you're offering PlayStation 3 games for download, if you're offering PS2 titles and PS1 games. At that point, you're having literally, what, north of 10,000 games available to purchase. Obviously, they can't put everything on there, but let's still say north of 5,000. That would be pretty incredible to have all of those games being available for purchase. And sure, not all of those games would sell really well all the time, but you're still creating that residual revenue, and I think Sony knows that that's very important. I know that going into next generation, Sony's key focus is game streaming, and they're really all aboard that. It seems like everybody is with Google and Microsoft. I'm just not generally as on board as everybody else, but if they could get it working at a fundamental level and it works at a compelling rate, and it's priced accordingly, hey, maybe I can be completely off the mark. But based on what I've seen off of PlayStation now, yes, it's a service that works for me, but I have better than average internet. And even for me, I can see some latency issues, and I would much prefer to play a game either digitally directly downloaded onto my PlayStation 4 or a physical copy, but that's just my 2 cents. We know that backwards compatibility is going to be a main element of the PlayStation 5. Also, with so much talk about the PlayStation 5, the question remains, how much longer will the PlayStation 4 stay relevant for? I know for some of you guys, you picked up the PlayStation 4 Pro rather recently. Maybe you picked up the PS4 Pro Spider-Man or God of War bundle, and you're not ready to let go of the PS4. It still offers a really good experience, experience, and Sony noted that the PlayStation 4 will stay relevant for at least the next 3 years. But even though they say that, just bear in mind, after the release of the PlayStation 4, the PS3 really fell off. You got some game releases here and there. I do remember Gran Turismo 6 was released after the release of the PlayStation 4, and that was a PlayStation 3 exclusive, but that was the only game. The Last of Us is what most people see as the swan song to the PlayStation 3, and that was released June of 2013, about 5 months prior to the PlayStation 4's release. GTA 5 did come in September of 2013. Splinter Cell Blacklist came in August of 2013, so you had some big games before the release of the PlayStation 4 on the PlayStation 3. However, after the release of the PlayStation 4, the majority of titles were either cross-gen or they started becoming generational leaps and they were PlayStation 4 exclusives. I imagine that's what we're going to see from the get-go. A lot of these games will be cross-gen. However, if you do want the best experience, that'll probably be evident on the PS5. Gravitate towards the PlayStation 5. And I imagine by late 2021, early 2022, at that point, the majority of titles would just transition into being PlayStation 5 and next Xbox titles. But for now, you should have a little bit of time left. Sony is touting 3 years. I think we'll be lucky to have a solid 2 more years, but that is just my 2 cents. Okay, moving on from that, we've got some very exciting information. Overwatch is getting another free trial alongside its 3rd anniversary event. It kicks off today and it'll be running until May 28th. So Overwatch has been one of the most compelling and best kept updated first-person shooters this entire generation. I don't think that's hyperbole in saying that at all. The Call of Duty games, you see consistent Call of Duty releases all the time. Since the release of Overwatch, we've had, what, 3 Call of Duty titles? We've had 2 Battlefield games, but Overwatch still sustains as its own compelling experience. Obviously, Overwatch is different than those games in being more team-oriented, but it's a very good game, especially if you have a couple of friends to play with, and given that it's getting a free week, get a couple of friends on it, play for yourself, and you'll have a great time with it. Usually with these free trials, they also offer a sale on the game. I don't see a sale on the PlayStation Store, but hopefully that goes live pretty soon. The free trial will begin on the 21st and end on the 28th. Those in the free trial will also be able to participate in the anniversary event. 6 new legendary skins and 3 new epic skins are being added to the game, so you can see they're continuing to update the game, and if you do play the trial, all of your progress made in the trial will carry on over to the full game if you so choose to buy it. So again, you got a week to try out the game. I think it's rather good. Overwatch has been free in the past. All you need is a PlayStation Plus subscription and you can jump in and have a pretty good time with it. Alright, and lastly, Phoenix Labs' Dauntless drops today. We did an entire video about it, and that video is doing really well thanks to everyone that checked it out and the positive reception to that video. Wanted to bring a lot of attention to this game because as far as free-to-play offerings go, Dauntless looks to be one of the more interesting ones, and Phoenix Labs has done a pretty good job with it in keeping the game updated and fresh through the beta period on PC. And here's another major milestone for Dauntless, and really a major milestone for gaming in general. I don't think it's hyperbole in saying that at all. Dauntless is the first title to allow true crossplay and cross-progression between PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Now, the PC version of the game is exclusive to the Epic Games Store, so that's how you get it there. They have a console release trailer for the game, and that's been confirmed. That is a huge feather in Phoenix Labs' cap, because I was saying that if they get crossplay in a game like Dauntless, that's an element that a lot of major multiplayer games don't have implemented into their games, but Dauntless got it. That is huge for them. I know some of you guys are a little turned off by the art style. Maybe you're turned off by some of the mechanics. At least give the game a chance. Again, it's a completely free-to-play offering, and if you do get into the game, they do have microtransactions and you can pick up a season pass. It's nothing different than your typical free-to-play game, but Dauntless, as far as an action-oriented title, it's pretty good in that regards. You don't have a lot of big-budget action-oriented free-to-play games. You have games like Fortnite, you have all these battle royales, but a fast-paced action title, you've got Dauntless, you've got games like Warframe, and you see the free-to-play offerings on the PlayStation 4 really gain a lot of depth. I've been saying it a lot, but when I came into this generation, there were a couple of free-to-play games on the PS4 at launch, but I didn't think F2P was going to be a mainstay on the PlayStation 4, and if you told me that early on in this generation, I would have been a little bit skeptical, but really, all of these free-to-play games have been done rather well. From Path of Exile, Warframe, Apex Legends, and now Dauntless, they all offer something unique, and they're all offered absolutely free. If you do want to invest money, you can do that, but with Dauntless, you can play the game free, and you can play it between PS4, Xbox One, and PC. Not only can you play with each other, progression also carries over from every platform, so that is fantastic. Hopefully, we see more games following suit. This should be something uniform in all multiplayer titles, especially games that are so focused in multiplayer. Not only is it great to have crossplay so you can play with all your friends across multiple platforms, but also it keeps the longevity of the game alive. Not every game is going to have a ton of people playing all the time, and when the player base is divided across 3 platforms, that makes it an even bigger issue, but in the case of Dauntless, it looks like the player base will persist and it'll definitely be helped out with crossplay. And that's gonna conclude this video. Again, PlayStation 5 backwards compatibility is said to play a key role in transitioning PS4 to next gen. PlayStation 4 is set to stay relevant for at least the next 3 years, although I find that a little bit hard to believe. Yeah, there might be PlayStation 4 games released, but in terms of big budget marquee titles and exclusives, I think after the PlayStation 5's release, that'll really diminish, and we're all speculating the PS5 will come holiday 2020. Overwatch is available to play free right now, and Dauntless is launching with crossplay between PS4, Xbox One, and PC. That's gonna conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.